of our Coronanomics series, a program where we capture the acts of kindness, support, and love shown during this period of the coronavirus pandemic adversely affecting the global socio-economic space. We'll begin with the story that Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg has donated $100,000 prize she won from a Danish foundation to the United Nations Children's Fund for use against the COVID-19 pandemic, the world body today said. Like the climate crisis, the coronavirus pandemic is a child rights crisis. It would affect all children now and in the long term, but vulnerable groups will be impacted the most, Thunberg was quoted saying in the UNICEF statement. I'm asking everyone to step up and join me in support of UNICEF's vital work to save children's lives, to protect health and continue education, she added. According to UNICEF, the funds will give it a boost as it struggles to support children impacted by antivirus lockdowns and school closures, particularly in the fields of food shortages, strained healthcare systems, violence, and lost education. Thunberg said at the end of March that she had likely contracted the coronavirus after experiencing several symptoms after a trip to Central Europe. Improved air quality in Europe due to lockdowns to combat the coronavirus pandemic has delivered health benefits equivalent to avoiding 11,300 premature deaths, according to a study published today. Researchers extrapolated the likely impacts on diseases caused or made worse by air pollution, which has fallen dramatically as hundreds of millions of people have stayed at home over the past month. You could compare it to everyone in Europe stopping smoking for a month, said Laurie Maiverta, lead analyst at the Helsinki-based Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air, which conducted the study. Our analysis highlights the tremendous benefits for public health and quality of life that could be achieved by rapidly reducing fossil fuels in a sustained and sustainable way. Schools in Hungary will remain closed until the end of May, and events with more than 500 participants cannot be held until August 15, Prime Minister Viktor Orban's Chief of Staff, Gergely Gulyás, has said. Orban announced yesterday that some restrictions outside Budapest imposed to contain the coronavirus outbreak will be lifted starting next week. Existing restrictions will continue for now in the capital, which has been reported to be the highest number of coronavirus infections and deaths. The total raised by Britain's Colonel Tom Moore for health service charities has exceeded the $37 million mark to commemorate the veteran's 100th birthday. Moore captured the hearts of a nation during the COVID-19 pandemic by walking 100 laps of his garden to raise money to support frontline health workers. German Chancellor Angela Merkel's Chief of Staff today said social distancing measures in Europe's largest community would certainly be extended until May 10 for the time being. Hegelbrunn told broadcaster NTV a larger discussion about further steps to ease the lockdown would happen on May 6, while some shops have already reopened. Britain has released 40 of a possible 4,000 prisoners that were identified for early release after the government got a better control on the spread of the coronavirus in prisons, Justice Minister Robert Buckland said today. The picture is a much better one than presented itself to me even a month ago, he said. California Governor Gavin Newsom is likely to announce today the closure of the state's beaches and parks after crowds jammed beaches last weekend, according to a memo cited by local media amid concerns over the coronavirus pandemic. The memo was sent by the governor's office to California's police chiefs, local media reported. After the well-publicized media coverage of overcrowded beaches this weekend in violation of Governor Newsom's shelter-in-place order, the governor will be announcing tomorrow that all beaches and all state parks in California will be closed effective Friday, May 1st, according to the memo posted by the Fox 11 Los Angeles channels. The World Food Programme and the United Nations Children's Agency have urged governments to shore up the futures of the 370 million children worldwide who depend on school meals. For millions of children around the world, the meal they get at school is the only meal they get in a day. Without it, they go hungry. They risk falling sick, dropping out of school, and losing their best chance of escaping poverty, said David Beasley, the WFP Executive Director. We must act now to prevent the health pandemic from becoming a hunger catastrophe and to ensure that no one is left behind. About 100 million people living in cities worldwide will likely fall into poverty due to the coronavirus pandemic, experts have said, calling for mapping tools to identify vulnerable communities and investment focusing on small areas. Within cities, we need to focus on those who need help the most. The poor and the vulnerable have been very seriously affected, says Same Waba, Global Director for the World Bank's Urban Disaster Risk Management, Resilience and Land Global Practice. Our estimate is that there will be possibly upward of 100 million so-called new poor on account of losses of jobs and livelihoods and income. Waba told a webinar with members of the media. Without data, government food and financial aid is not reaching slum areas where about 1 billion people live worldwide, added activist Sheila Patel. As Nigeria continues to battle the coronavirus pandemic, the government has launched a free virtual learning academy for Nigerians, especially students and youth staying at home as a result of the lockdown. Last month, President Muhammadu Buhari ordered the closure of all schools across the country in a bid to curb the spread of the virus. The move, though lauded at first, soon met with criticism over what many termed the country's inability to embrace virtual learning as an alternative during the stay-at-home period, at least for students and pupils. However, yesterday, the government said it was making efforts to leverage on the digital sector to address the problem. It then launched the Virtual Learning Academy to cushion whatever effects the shutdown may be having. The launch was commissioned by Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Issa Pantami, during a virtual meeting with the National Information Technology Development Agency in Abuja. Considering the rapid change of things across the world as a result of the pandemic, the academy became necessary, Mr. Pantami said, adding that Nigeria cannot be left behind. He said the academy would enable the ministry to create a pool of trained and skilled youth and encourage continuous learning at home. Other benefits include building, upgrading, and integrating the capacity among Nigerians, as well as bridging the gap between the academia and the industry, he said. He said the academy will add value to millions of skilled and unskilled Nigerians to prepare them for the post-COVID-19 economy. From the current COVID-19 confirmed cases in Nigeria, here are the key developments. We have 1,728 cases, 51 deaths and 307 recoveries. 34 states have recorded cases of COVID-19 with the exception of Cross River and Kogi State. Lagos State has the highest confirmed cases of coronavirus with 931 recorded infections, while Kano is fast rising with about 139 cases. And that will be all for this edition of The Human Angle. You can send your videos and pictures to news@poshareng.com or programs@poshareng.com and let us share your experience and views. Visit our website www.poshareng.com to get more updates from our news stories and videos. Also follow our social media platforms showing on the screen for further updates on our market reports. Join us by 9 p.m. for our 9th segment, which will be streamed live on our YouTube, Periscope, and Twitter channels. Till we come your way again, thank you for watching and please keep staying safe.